Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima. Book 3. Darkness. Chapter 9. Laughter Conquers All. Time seemed to slow down as Nemesis closed in on Shadow-Paws one step at a time. All the other wendigos lay motionless on the ground. It was just him and the Wendigo General. The vibrations of lethal choke in his hands gave him the courage to stand his ground, even as Nemesis approached. With every step, the glow coming from the dark fragment grew brighter. Nemesis came to a complete stop as the light emanating from lethal choke filled the tent. It doubled over once more, gaping up at Shadow-Paws. "What? What is the meaning of this?" "Lethal choke doesn't like you. That's the meaning of this." Jack Thunder jumped into the action, zapping Nemesis in the chest. The Wendigo shouted as it fell onto its back. It snarled, propping itself up onto its elbows. It shook and swayed uncontrollably as it tried to get back to its feet. Its eyes moved in and out of focus. Still, it managed to get itself into a crouching position. You... Jack Thunder pointed Stormbringer directly at Nemesis. Shadow-Paws saw that the staff was glowing white too. In fact, so was the sea stone, cinched around Buckthorn's neck as she appeared at his left side. The three anima fragments pulsed in time to the music and each other. The wind and music inside the tent came to a complete stop. Everyone, from the audience to Frosty and San to Razor and Strombolio, stared in awe at the incredible power resonating from the three anima fragments. Not even the other wendigos stirred. They were too worn down from the battle to move. Nemesis shuffled back, now terrified of the artifacts the three young heroes wielded. Even without the music, the level of undifferentiated anima in this room was off the charts. That was why the fragments were resonating. And it was why Nemesis and its minions were too weak to get off the ground. It stared in horror. It knew exactly what came next. And the three heroes knew it too. They closed their eyes and took a deep breath. They each aimed their fragments directly at Nemesis, and they began to recite the incantation. "Back to the flip side with you and your hate," Jack Thunder began. Stormbringer coursed with electricity. "You have no place in this land of dreams." Buckthorn recited the second line. The sea stone shimmered like the sea, shades of blue and green flowing through it like currents in a stream. Shadow-Paws knew the next part. "We belong to Alterus. Alterus is ours." Silvery clouds of magic snaked around lethal choke as its glow grew brighter. "Now be gone." Shadow-Paws squinted as the glow from the fragments grew painfully bright, bright enough to chase away every single shadow from the circus of shadows. He staggered his stance as lethal joke's recoil threatened to bowl him over. Through the magical Armageddon, he could see a beam of 6 colors emerging from the barrel of the dark fragment. Stormbringer and the Sea Stone fired similar beams, which merged in the center before rocketing straight towards Nemesis. The Wendigo General fired a beam of no magic at it, to no avail. The light-sucking beam of energy was no match for the sheer power of undifferentiated anima. The spectral beam scarcely touched it before it shattered and disintegrated into nothingness. Nemesis made one last-ditch attempt to run. It scrambled to its feet, making it only a few steps before the rainbow struck it in the shoulder. Shadow-Paws could see the Wendigo's lightless form disintegrating before his eyes. Starting where the beam hit and moving outward, Nemesis's form fractured and burned away like wood in a fire pit. The rainbow fragmented and split into many beams, each of which homed in on the Wendigos on the floor. Shadow-Paws could hardly hear the echoing shrieks of Wendigos being stripped of their power over the blast of anima from all three fragments at once. Each and every one of them was reduced to piles of black ashes, the same as Nemesis. The beams circled back and merged once more, carrying all the black ashes with them. The blinding light faded as the rainbow energy rocketed out of a hole torn in the top of the tent. Through the hole, Shadow-Paws saw the beam racing upwards towards the night sky. A small explosion far overhead jolted the building as it made its way through the flipside rift, sealing it once and for all. It took some time for Shadow-Paws to get his senses back. To his relief, the inside of the circus tent was dark once again, in contrast to the stark white that had filled the entire circus tent just a few seconds ago. All manner of colors and shapes danced before his eyes. They all fell into place as his legs trembled with exhaustion. "Hey, are you alright? You don't look so good all of a sudden." Shadow-Paws looked over to Jack Thunder. The Nekomata caught his breath and nodded. "Yeah, I think so. As long as the blast didn't blind me." All of a sudden, the stage lights once again flared to life. A roar of applause filled the room. The three froze for a second before awkwardly waving back to the crowd. Strombolio clambered up to the stage with Razor on his shoulder. "Ha-ha! You did it! That was the greatest show I've ever seen!" Strombolio exclaimed. Razor squealed in agreement. Shadow-Paws smiled. "Oh man, it was nothing. I couldn't have done it without you two." He turned towards Jack Thunder and Buckthorn. "What? We weren't important?" Frosty appeared at Jack Thunder's side, smirking. San followed behind with a relieved expression. Oh yeah, and you too." Shadow-Paws corrected himself. "Relax, kiddo. I was just joking." There was only one thing left to do now. Each one of them turned towards the crowd. One by one, Jack Thunder, Buckthorn, Shadow-Paws, Strombolio, Frosty, San, and Razor took a bow. Listening to the crowd's cheers, they knew that this night in the Dark Carnival would be remembered as one of the best and brightest in Altarian history. Hi there, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like more from our friend Jack Thunder, you can check out my new book series, Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima, on Amazon using the link in the description. Or you can head on over to my Teespring and grab a few things from my shop. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content every week. Thank you for watching.